What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cody's Auto Diagnostics. Today I got my family with me. I got my girls. I will introduce you guys. This is Mary Joy. We got Liliana, and then we got my wife Sabrina.
Hi guys.
Mary Joy, who's your favorite YouTuber?
Mariah Elizabeth.
Never heard of him. Lily.
GDM.
Never heard of her.
It's my boy.
Okay. Who's your favorite YouTuber, Sabrina?
This guy.
Oh, good call. All right, so we're gonna get into the toolbox tour of my Snap-on KRL. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys, this is my Snap-on KRL. Bought this bottom box close to about 10 years ago. Since then, I added on the hutch, the top locker, side locker, and added on to that. But this was my original Snap-on investment, but I've outgrown it. So obviously I've added on to it and stuff. But take you guys along for the ride. This is the hutch, which I do have the LED lighting from Snap-on. Don't buy it, it's not worth it. But I have a couple of my scan tools. I have the AutoLogic, the Autel. I have a laptop that I can, or a tablet I can hook my Pico and stuff up to. I have the Snap-on Zeus, and then my other laptop for a couple of the other scan tools and stuff. Pretty basic. I did add, since this box is older, I added a power top to it. It's made by Mac, but it bolts right into it. Or not bolts in, you have to screw it and stuff, but comes in handy. That's pretty much the work center as far as for the hutch and stuff. We'll take you guys through the top here. These are pliers, snap ring pliers, bolts and sockets that I don't use day in and day out. We got big pliers to these right here. These Snap-on ones. These are awesome for tie rod ends. I'm just going to take you guys pretty quick through this of tools that I like the most. These are all pretty basic stuff and everything that's in here. Move on to the next drawer. Got some wrenches, chain wrench. This is awesome for harmonic balancers, blow guns, pry bars, tie rod ends, line wrenches, some more pry bars. This right here is pretty awesome. It's indexable, made by Gear Wrench. You get a lot of leverage for lower control arms. This thing comes in pretty handy. I use this thing quite a bit. Pretty basic stuff in here. Nothing super crazy to see. We'll move on to the next drawer. This is just miscellaneous stuff. I have my air chisels, regular chisels, all adapters and everything for pickle forks. This tool right here is pretty sweet for doing freeze plugs. Actually, it's this one right here. For doing freeze plugs, pops them right in using the air hammer. I like this tool a lot. Don't see a lot of them because we live in Arizona and vehicles don't rust, but when you need it, it's nice to have. Moving on to the next drawer. This is a tool I use quite a bit, the relay test jumper kit. This, you can plug the relay on the top of this. This plugs into where the relay went, and you have the pins to check the powers and grounds and control. Like this tool. Another tool I like a lot, made by Matco, is this relay bypass loop switch, where you can actually put an amp clamp on it to check the amperage of the circuit. Good for fuel pumps, I mean all kinds of stuff. Anything that has a relay, you can see the amperage that's going through on the relay. Picks, gear wrench set that I don't use. This was a waste. It's a pass-through. It's come in handy a couple times, but don't use it that much. This is pretty nice. It is the power probe torch. Use that thing quite a bit. Dial indicator for drums. Sorry for the noise, guys. We have the garage doors open right now. Okay, moving on to the next drawer. More, Jesus Christ, more miscellaneous stuff. Chrysler dipsticks, both of these. They come in handy for the newer Chryslers. Chrysler decides not to put a dipstick in there, so you have to have that in order to check the transmission fluid. Let's see, flywheel holders, spark testers. These are for alignments on the Chevy Silverados. Pretty basic stuff. Gas pedal depressor. This right here is pretty awesome. Got this from Snap-on, but this hooks up to your scope, and you can check. It will give you known good signals what things are supposed to look like as far as for the cam and crank, the wheel speed sensors, injector, accelerator pedal position. It gives you some sine wave signals and stuff down here, and you can also add a glitch to the signals. So like I said, it's good for learning how to use your scope and what you're looking for. It's good for training purposes. Next drawer, these are all kinds of pullers, harmonic balancer remover, harmonic balancer installer, power steering pump kit. I've never used this, or actually I've used it a couple times. Don't care for it. The the power steering pullers that I do use all the time are these Snap-on ones. These things are a beast. Love them. There's the other one. These things are awesome. Love the Snap-on ones. That is something that if you haven't gotten a power steering puller, those are the ones to get. Harmonic balancer puller for the Chryslers. Also comes with the updated for the Hemis. Overrunning clutch tool for the alternators. Don't see a lot of them. Used this kit once. Updated power steering or steering wheel puller, and it's updated, so it's got a couple other adapters and stuff on it, and a smaller footprint than that, because they decide to change it year in and year out. So I have to stay up to date on that kind of stuff. This kit right here is pretty sweet. This is for doing the Toyota cam and crank seals. You add a couple other adapters. Actually, these are just for the cam seals, but this will remove them and install them. Love that kit. This right here, another thing I've never used, is the laser guide tool for serpentine belts. I'm sure it would come in handy, but again, another thing I've never used. On to the next drawer. Thermal imager, new one made by Snap-on. Awesome tool, love it. The older one did not care for as much. It's definitely worth getting the upgraded one. There's a bunch of other companies that are making these. It doesn't matter really which one you have, as long as you have one, it comes in super handy. Battery jumper with a maintainer, goes up to the DLC, comes in handy. Doesn't need to be Snap-on, but I got a deal on it. Coolant pressure tester, lug nut turbo sockets. These right here will get stripped lug nuts out. The stripped heads, I'm saying, so comes in handy. Over here we have Mike Nicholson's first look sensor. I have one that's similar. I ended up giving it away to Joey Fitzpatrick the other day, so I need to build some new ones. Lockout kit, extra cables, cables for the first look sensor. This is my pressure transducer box that I made. It's got 12 volts coming in from the battery. It's got a 5 volt converter inside. Puts out 5 volts to the sensor, and we got a signal and stuff returned. So good for in-cylinder pressure transducers. Not super It's obviously not a WPS, so that will be coming eventually. Next drawer, ball joint kit. Nothing special there. Harbor Freight ball joint adapter kit. You're gonna beat on them, who cares if it's Harbor Freight. This right here, this Tomcat, comes in super handy for doing alignments on the McPherson struts. You put this in between the wheel and the strut and blow it up with shop air, and it will adjust the camber for those struts. Some electrical wire connectors, heat shrink. These are awesome if you're doing any kind of electrical repair. Black light for AC with the glasses. New infrared leak detector for AC. This is almost a must with a new refrigerant. It's expensive, but it's nice to put it into the evaporators to see what's leaking when you can't always see dye. Spanner wrench tool. Holding cam gears. It's got different adapters. Use this thing all the time. Definitely worth an investment. I have a cheap refractometer. Haven't had a chance to use this yet. I got this, like I said, these are usually about $80 to $100. I think this one was 20 bucks on the Wish app. So next drawer. Miscellaneous stuff. There's some money if you want it. That's for the wife. Yep, I just got taxed. Nothing too crazy there. It's got a nice little workstation if you ever want to use that. Hardly ever use these. Junk. They bend. Not worth it. These. Cheap. Don't buy them. Unless they're off a tool truck. These right here, I've broken a bunch of them. So if you're going to get those, spend the money on those. That's definitely something to use the money on. More miscellaneous stuff. Harbor Freight scrapers. I use these because it's got the hammer chisel on the back for getting oil pans and stuff off. Especially this one, you can see how it used to be that length. Use it all the time. These right here for cleaning up gasket material, made by Matco. These are awesome. You can scrape them right on aluminum. It doesn't damage anything. Good investment. Next drawer. Tap and die set. And it's got drill bits and extractors. So this kit was pretty nice. You need to have something to be chasing threads and to fix things that come off broke and everything. So definitely a good investment to spend some money on that. Same thing. These are for axles. This here is another good kit that I do like. This is for lug nuts, or for the studs. This goes around the stud and you back them right off, so you don't have to replace the studs all the time. Next drawer. Air hammers, drills, right angle drill, smaller 3/8, air ratchet, stuff I just don't use all the time. Grinders. This one is a beast. This is the 3050 snap-on. It's a monster. This little thing right here, this is awesome for the Chevy S10 upper control arm bushings. You guys that do them on the car, you know what I'm talking about. Left-handed drill bits, these come in. These are awesome. or actually, nope. Left-handed drill bits are these right here. This is another extractor kit. Then just some discs, sanding discs. Master fuel injection kit. It's the basic kit made by OTC. This one's Matco branded. Definitely nice to have. Transmission cooler line remover, fuel line removers, all kinds of quick release removers. Need to have one of those. This is a crimper. That's got a bunch of other attachments for it, so you can do bare terminals instead of just the insulated like a normal crimper. That comes in nice. This is an Astro. Below this, we have the Mac locking lug nut master key set. Thing is, Harbor Freight has the exact same thing and it's cheaper. And when I say the exact same thing, it's the same exact kit, but you save about 50 bucks. So if you're gonna get it, go to Harbor Freight. Triton 3-valve spark plug. Yep. This one got warrantied out because my other one got stripped, so haven't had a chance to use this one yet. But if you do the Fords, you have a broken spark plug, this is a necessity. There is a trick to get around that without breaking a plug, but I'll mention that later. Okay, next drawer, this is just vacuum hoses. This is good for blocking off evap. Any kind of attachments and everything to put your Mighty Vac on to apply pressure or vacuum. You just never, all kind of miscellaneous sizes. More removers, fuel line removers, AC removers, fuel, time and chain, time and belt, lock pins, stretch to fit belt remover. This one, junk. Even these right here, I haven't found a good removing, or not removing tool, but install tool. These are good for EGR ports. And all these are automotive paint gun cleaning tools. But when it comes to EGR valves, their ports and everything, comes in nice. Alright, next one. Some electrical stuff. This right here. These are the solder seals. Pretty awesome stuff. It's got a low temp solder inside of there that you heat up once you get the wire on there. It's got glue right here on the ends, seals to weather packet. Awesome, awesome stuff. And get them off Amazon. Harbor Freight, test light, terminal release tool, just cheapies. There's another kit too. They bend, that you're not going to get much life out of these. Old Mighty Vac, inner tie rod remover. This thing is junk. I know Mike the Flat Rate Master was showing a new one that's out that doesn't need these adapters. So if you don't have one and you're looking at getting one, check out his channel. That's Mike the Flat Rate Master. Vice grips, torque angle gauge that needs to be replaced. Some police line in case there's a shooting. This was another, this was a waste of money. This is to remove fuel out of a fuel tank, put it in, shake it, and it creates a vacuum so you can drain a fuel tank. All you do, if you don't have one of these, put a hose into the gas tank, take your air blowgun, put the blowgun like this, put the blowgun like this, spray the air, that creates a vacuum and it'll start pulling out. So no special tools or whatever, then you grab your gas can and you can fill it up. Harbor Freight borescope comes in handy. I need to get a better one. The camera's not great on it, but I've gotten 5-6 years of use out of it. This is AC temp seeker. I use it for air conditioning. It's got different probes, so you can, these right here, this can go on the inlet and the outlet of the AC condenser, so you can see the temperature change to see if you have a plug condenser. It can also go on the evaporator, check for plug evaporators. It comes in really handy for issue vehicles that have poor AC performance. Tool I've never used, electronic engine noise detector. Don't like it. This is my old Cardac. It's the +1. I've since updated to the Cardac +2. I know that they have a +3 out. More punches, hardly ever used. Slide hammer kit, rear axle bearing remover kit. Looks practically brand new. All right, now moving on to the cabinet. Label maker, got that from the wife for my birthday. Harbor Freight gloves, I use the 9mm. I love these gloves. Noid light kit, exhaust back pressure tester. Pretty basic stuff. Seen one, you've seen them all. Cylinder leakage tester. This right here is awesome. This saves a bunch of time for checking oil pressure. This oil pressure kit goes into place of, you remove the oil filter, you add the correct adapters, and you check the oil pressure. So Chevy 5.3, Chevy 6.0s, all those oil pressure sensors that are in the back of the intake where you have to remove the intake in order to check oil pressure and then reinstall the intake with the gauge and everything. This saves all that time. So this tool, definitely worth the money. It was like 120 bucks. It's paid for itself the first time I've used it. Compression gauge, oil pressure gauge, another cylinder leakage tester. This one's from Harbor Freight, but it's got some adapters that my other one doesn't have. So moving on, Mighty Vac pressure vacuum gauge. If you don't have one, make sure it does pressure and vacuum. I had to upgrade because my old one only did vacuum, and it's nice to have the pressure for doing like the Chrysler ESIM modules. For the evap, you can see the switch getting grounded and stuff by adding one pound of pressure. Race and seal installers, multiple kits, because they just get beat to crap. I'm gonna have to fix that. Again, race and seal installers, power probe hook. This thing's nice, it's big, it's bulky, hardly ever comes out. One nice thing I do like about it, it does provide a 5-volt ref if you need that, without having to have adapters and everything. Another nice thing, the switches will lock if you choose it to, so it will constantly supply power, constantly supply ground, without having to continue holding the button. Another race and seal installer kit. More race and seal installers. Power probe circuit finder. So this will tell you when you have a short, when you have an open, This comes in handy. Don't use it all the time, but when you do have something like that, this is awesome. The other Power Probe 4. Practically brand new. This does things that the hook doesn't do, and it also does things that the snap-on one doesn't do. So, comes in handy. This is another tool. This is for the rear disc brakes with the pistons that you have to spin in. What's nice about this will go both directions. It's air operated, so you only need 2 hands, while the other ones that are out there, they're difficult to use. This thing is awesome. It's an SIR tool. Look it up. One tool does it all. I know Joe from Joe's Auto Electric has the same tool. This is the FST Pro, made by MightyVac. This is a fuel pressure tester, so it's got a gauge. It's got a gauge that goes onto the top. I also have a video out there of me using it, so it gives you the pressure, but also gives you the volume and flow of the fuel pressure. So you can actually see in the sight glass of the fuel. So you can see quality of fuel, you can see just because you have pressure doesn't mean you have good volume. So this is a great tool. This goes in series to the fuel line, so you have your in, you have your out. With the hoses, great tool. And it comes with all kinds of adapters and stuff too. This is the MightyVac. This attaches to the hoses that comes in this kit. This is for cleaning injectors. It also comes with a nozzle so you can do a decarb service. This gets used daily. Smoke tester for evap, intakes, exhausts, any kind of leaks. This is an oldie but goodie. Bought it for like 20 bucks off my boss's brother. Sent it into to Smoke Pro. Anyway, I sent it in to get rebuilt, so it was about $350 to get rebuilt, but it's practically brand new. AC stuff, R134, 1234 gauges, orifice tube removers, AC clutch remover, oil injection die. This right here, this goes onto your gauges. This is a micrometer, so this goes onto your gauge so you can see how much vacuum that the actual vacuum pump is pulling. Once the vacuum pump stops, it tells you if you're getting down to 350 microns on this and it stays there, you absolutely have no leaks. That's not something you can see on a gauge like that. Tie straps, transmission drive shaft plugs so it doesn't leak all over you. Engine hoist tools. These are stolen off old engines to add hooks to remove engines. Miscellaneous pullers. Heat sleeves. These come in handy if you're doing any kind of exhaust work or working on a hot engine. Here in Arizona, our average temperature during the summer is like 110 degrees. Cars come in after driving 6 hours and they want work done and they're waiting. It's an absolute must. This tool right here has made me a lot of money. This is for doing Toyota rear axle inner seals. Without this tool, you're pretty much going to damage the backing plate in some way, shape, or form. It's an expensive tool. I know you can make it for way cheaper, but even for the price of it, I get cars from other locations with the axles. I can knock out these axles in 20 minutes and it's an hour job per side. So it's paid for itself multiple times. More gloves, rivet gun from Harbor Freight. It's okay. Old amp clamp. It's not in calibration, but I keep it just in case. Old hook. I've gone through 3 of these. and just some miscellaneous stuff. Cylinder leakage combustion chamber for cylinder head gaskets that are failed. I don't usually, it has its place, but I haven't needed it in a while. Okay, so that's that. Moving on up here. Ford Master Cam timing set, or just Ford Master, it's the timing set. You need to have this if you're doing any kind of, like the 4.0s. You can't set timing correctly unless you have this kit. More and more cars are getting this way because they decided to start making crankshafts without keyways. GM timing set, again, it's a must-have if you're doing anything on GM. That's for the Ford 2.0 timing set. We have the Volkswagen cam timing set. This right here is a blind hole remover from Harbor Freight. It's got the slide hammer on it, which makes it pretty sweet. Old coolant pressure tester, old fuel gauge tester. This right here, this tool is awesome. Haven't had a chance to use it yet. This is for the duty cycled compressors. This goes in series with a control solenoid for the compressor, and you can command how much duty cycle you want to go to the compressor, so you can command it 100% to get proper readings for the AC. Comes in super handy, but haven't had a chance to use that yet. Got the Mac LED light. Also have wireless chassis ears. Any kind of suspension noises. That's saved my butt multiple times. Up there we have the mini ductor. Again, we live in Tucson, we don't get a lot of rust, but cars that we do get from snowbirds from back east will have rust on it. That thing saved me a bunch of times as well. So, super handy tool. Makes it so it's flameless heat. Love it. Okay, moving on to the cart. This is my diagnostic cart. I have the Zeus hooked up. What I do like about it, I can come up here, I can switch between my laptop on the monitor or the Zeus. Takes a second, but then I have my laptop and I can switch it back and forth. This is my workstation. This is where I spend a lot of time researching wiring diagrams, whatever it may be. Come into here, I have a printer for the setup, powers, or chargers, like this kit right here from AES Wave. Terminal kit. This thing is out all day, every day, doing any kind of electrical. Amazing kit. I know PJ just had a video out, Pat from Voltage Drop Diagnostics, of using this with a resistor inside of it for checking airbag circuits. So definitely a good kit. Like I said, use it all the time. It does come with resistors. They do have an updated kit out that has micro pins in it, and a couple other updated terminal kits. So next drawer, this is where the Zeus goes. This is my old cart when I still had my Veris. Obviously you guys have seen this if you watched any of my other videos. I started doing some reviews on this. Got the Ford IDS. This is the factory scan tool. This thing is awesome. Use this thing all the time. Definitely worth an investment, at least for myself. We have the test lights. Again, if you haven't seen it before, cut off the ends. We got bananas on them. The bananas make it nice so you can add anything you want for electrical testing. Just a quick tip, a little bit of work and it's a huge lifesaver. So multiple test lights, dongles for the snap-on, dongle for the Autel. One thing that I have, the Autel's slow, and one thing that I was told on one of the Facebook groups from Matthew is to not use the Bluetooth of it, to actually have it wired in. So I will be testing that Autel to see if it does speed up by using it actually wired instead of doing it wireless. Inductive pickups, secondary pickups, just all kinds of cables that are just thrown in here because I'm running out of room. Next drawer, homemade test lights again. Bananas. Bananas. Hey babe, Lil. Okay, so scope attachments, the leads that come with the snap-on scopes, hate them. They're not long enough. Don't even use them. Look, I don't even think they've been out. Alligators, fuse amp testers, OBD1 connectors, same kind of stuff. That's the Autel OBD1 connectors. Got the coil on plug tester. This tool right here from AES Wave is the fills probe. This thing is sweet. It's got a bunch of little needles inside there. Very little piercing inside the wires. This tool is just awesome. Love it. Love the length of it. I know that they have a mini one that's out and stuff now. Looking at getting that one. These are my snap-on 10-foot leads that I bought from AES Wave. These are what I use. These are what I grab because of the length and everything else. They are the test drive leads. Bought these from Harbor Freight. Or not Harbor Freight, from Amazon. If you look, this is a snap-on one. There's the Amazon one. I'm sure these, for 2 of them, are $50 from Snap-on. You get you get 10 of them from Amazon for 10 bucks. So a dollar per alligator. That's the same with these. These are the Fluke or the Pomona. Awesome. I love these things. I know Keith DeFazio swears by these too. These are from Amazon. $10 for 2 of these instead of $50 for 2. So far I'm happy with these. Same functionality. Obviously you don't want to pierce wires, but sometimes it's inevitable. Power probe attachments, back probing pins, all kinds of electrical stuff. So I got these from AES Wave. I know they've since updated them. I do not like these because they don't hold the wire centered, and it's real hard to make a connection. So if you're going to get them, make sure that they have the black piece inside there. Bottom drawer, Snap-on's version of the Power Probe, made by Power Probe. This does things that the others Power Probes won't do. This will supply the power and ground with the switch, where you can latch it or you can pulse it. This is the one that I go to the most, mainly because it didn't come in a box, and for how much you spend with Snap-on, you think that it would at least come with a box. My old Autel 708, this thing is a beast. Never updated it because I didn't want to lose functionality. Every time you update from Autel, you lose things. I know that they got in a bunch of trouble years ago, but this was when Autel first came out, and I have functions on this that my new Autel does not have. DVOMs. Snap-on one, awesome. This Matco one, or this Mac one, junk. Quick OBD2 code reader, just clearing lights, checking codes real quick without having to load up the scan tool. Comes in handy. Tech 2, awesome. I absolutely love this thing. It's paid for itself over and over. I do all my flashing on any GM with the Tech 2 with an adapter, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Decade box, add your own resistance. This is the amp hound. This comes in, this is awesome for checking parasitic drains. Great tool. You don't use it all the time, but when you need it, it's awesome. We have the CAN module for the Tech 2. This tool here is made by, yeah, I'm not going to mention who. Anyways, Banana jumpers comes in nice. They're not the alligator clips, they're the actual bananas. I have a pet peeve adding alligators on top of alligators. I hate that. So that's why everything is bananaed. Okay, moving on. Extensions for the power probe. Cables, pins, tips, more extensions, more jumpers, and that is that. All right, next, this looks ghetto, but it serves its purpose. So it's an old shopping cart that I'm borrowing from a supermarket. Add the laptop on the top. And with this, I have the Pico with the boom. I have my amp clamps. I have all my cables. Makes for quick and easy testing. I use this because moving around the shop, it's easier to maneuver around the cars. And I have all my quick access connectors and everything right here. From alligators to the bananas to BNC, wire piercers, back probe pins, attenuators, some extension cords on the bottom. On this side over here, I have my DrewTech Cardac Plus 2 for mobile flashing, or for flashing. The breakout box, which if you're doing any kind of network issues, this is a must-have. On the front, we have the Schumacher battery maintainer for doing the flashing. Ripple-free charger. If you're doing any kind of flashing, it needs to be ripple-free, and you're going to be spending good money on a charger to do so. Okay, so now moving on to the daily cart. This is what I work out of 90% of the day. I needed to have something so I'm not running all over the shop. I work on cars here, I'll work on cars over there. I need something where I have 90% of my daily use tools. So I like this because it opens up. I have my workspace on both sides. Both of these open up so I can put nuts and bolts in here, organize it. To over here, I have my wrenches. And these are the best wrenches I've ever had in my life. These are made by, just kidding. Wrenches are junk, but they serve its purpose. So I need to upgrade some wrenches eventually. Moving on to the first drawer. Harbor Freight organizers come in handy. It makes it so this big drawer, I'm able to organize my stuff for quick grabs from extensions, oil filter sockets. I have some wrenches right there, the extensions. These snap-on wobbles. This is a 10 millimeter, here's a 12 millimeter. These things are awesome. These things are sweet, love them. Liquid electrical tape. After your pierced wires, you need to put this on or you're going to be causing some havoc for the next technician that's working on that vehicle. Breaker bar. Next drawer. Daily use pliers, Diagnostics oil filter wrenches, these new snap-on clip removers with a 90-degree. Awesome, love them. Use this 90% of the time, made by Snap-on again. Best pullers. They're not like the Mac ones that actually bend. These are sturdy. Best Snap-on pick, or best pick there is out there. The Snap-on one, again, no bending. Something I do spend money on that. When it comes to dikes, Nippics, this is what I use. Lifetime warranty, love them. Have these Snap-on ones that this one costs more than both those Nippics. Hate it. So regular sockets, vice grips, I mean, smaller version of the snap-on pliers. These are great for tie rod removal tools, especially for tie rods that are frozen. This really just grabs a hold of it. Daily use sockets and these long wrenches. These are these bigger ones are made by Monster. Smaller ones I have are made by Mountain. Great tool. Use these things probably even more than my regular open-end wrenches. So sockets, we got metric, standard, organized right down the center, stud removers. I mean, nothing too special. So over here, it's unorganized, all kinds of brake stuff. Brake fluid tester, test the moisture inside the system. All the fun stuff, doing brakes. So just tools for all that. I don't want to go into detail on each one. Battery terminal spreaders. Nothing too special. More wrenches, ratchet wrenches, wobble end wrenches. Doing brakes. You guys know how these work. Nothing crazy. Load tester for batteries. This right here is an awesome tool doing any kind of serpentine belts. This is made by Gear Wrench. I've had this thing probably 12 years. Absolutely love it. I haven't upgraded to the new one yet because I haven't seen a need for it. Air tools that I hardly ever use, blowguns. This is a cool 3/8 ratchet. It actually has a bendable head for those tight reach places. Down on the bottom, hammers, rags, brake clean, gloves. One thing I do like about this cart is the storage on the side. Added these to it, so from coolant to washer to quick access to the guns. Saves drawer space, and got the same thing on the other side. .3/8 snap-on. Love this thing. I'm not sure how much more snap-on electric stuff I will buy now that Milwaukee seems to be on top of it. But snap-on 3/8, snap-on 1/4 inch, snap-on 1/4 inch, but this is non-impact, so good for air boxes, stuff like that. Battery cleaner, anti-seize, dielectric grease, and then on the back, oil filter funnel, oil filter wrenches, and that's it. Thanks for tuning in to Cody's Auto Diagnostics.
Happy St. Patty's Day. See you at your next oil change.
Thanks for meeting my family. Have a good one, guys.